Hi everyone, Gina here with Belly Beads. Here today to bring you a tutorial on my 4-leaf clover St. Patty's Day earrings. Let's get started. And these earrings have ones with patterns on them, and the ones that don't have patterns, it's just a solid green right here. They are called fillers. They go between the pattern to keep it sturdy. I'm going to use some Modge Podge to put them together. And you can use pretty much any type of glue you want. I like the Modge Podge for this. So I'm going to grab one of them. I'm going to line the holes up, and I'm going to get some of the Modge Podge. Now you could put this on with your finger or a paintbrush. Anything that works for you is fine. I'm going to spread it on. And then I'm going to line them up, and I'm almost stacking them like a deck of cards. That's the best way to describe to keep them aligned for the holes. You just want to go ahead and line the holes up, and there you go. Press it down. And you can use a roller to press it down or your finger. And then I'm going to do the other one. All right, so let's do the back sides. Okay, and let's put some Modge Podge on them. The backs. I don't put a whole lot of Modge Podge on it, just enough to stick together. Oops, I'm sorry, I'm out of the camera there. There we go. And there we go. We have one that is already. And then now we're going to do the second one. Put this one in the back. And they're completed. Now we're going to glaze them, but before we glaze them, we have to prime them. But I want to show you how important priming is. I use UV resin for this project. I place it in a warm water in a container, and that makes it for an easier flow. You can use Minwax polyacrylic, whatever you like. But today I'm going to use the resin. Now I didn't prime this one, but I'm going to show you why it's so important to prime it. And priming, I mean I did not place any glue on top of it. So I usually use my finger with this. You can use your finger, you can use a brush. The toothpick I do use around the holes to try to avoid clogging the holes up. Now, can you see how the UV resin is penetrating through the paper? Now this one, I'm going to paint the Modge Podge on it. It's almost like a primer. I'm going to get it all between the edges. So you're going to notice that when I do use the UV resin, it won't seep through the edges. And as you can see the one on the left? All right, now I'm going to put this in the UV resin light. And the pad I'm using is called a honeycomb pad. I got that from Amazon. I'll put everything in the link below. All right, so we're going to carefully go around the hole there with the toothpick. And there you go. I have my gloves on. It's important to use your gloves with UV resin. Even though it's water-based, I still like to use my glove. All right, so let's pop that into the UV light. Now I have my 4mm paper strips, and I'm using a quilling tool and my clear Elmer's glue. You can use a paper bead roller, but for this project I really enjoy working with the quilling tool because it's so tiny and it makes really great tiny holes for this 4mm round. These strips are also sold on my website at bellybeads.com. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure I take my time rolling this evenly. And then I'm going to flip it around, and I'm going to place a small amount of glue on it. With my other paper strips, I like to be very generous and then just with my finger spread it all over the bead. But for these are so tiny, I just use a little bit. I want to keep its shape, and to do that, you don't want to pull it off, you want to push it off. And there you go. You've got a 4mm bead. Now here they are, they're all done. I rolled all of them. Now we're going to prime them with Modge Podge. I'm going to place one of them on a toothpick, and I'm going to get some Modge Podge. Now, Modge Podge doesn't bother me too much, so I do use my finger, but if you're allergic to anything, please go ahead and use a brush or a glove. I like using my finger because it seems to spread a little bit more onto the bead itself. All right, and here we go. They're all done. I placed them on a styrofoam pad, and now they're ready to be glazed. I'm going to grab one of them, place some resin directly on the bead itself. I do have my glove on for this, so I'm going to spread it around, and it's so nice and easy, and you don't need a whole lot, just a little bit. And experiment with it. You know, it does take its trial. It takes some time to do it. So here we go. They're all done. It's definitely a trial and error. And these have been UV resined under the light, and they're so round, they're just rolling off my hand. All right, so I'm going to put these back, and we're going to now begin creating. But before we do, I would like to show you, see this one? Under the resin, it seeped all through because it did not have any prime, which meant the Modge Podge. This one came out perfect. The UV resin did not saturate the entire earring. All right, we're going to put those two together, and I'm going to place a head pin through the hole of the 4mm. I'm going to use my round nose pliers, and I'm going to just twist it into a small loop, and then I'm going to bring the wire around to make it look like it's wrapped. I do like, with my rounds, for this one, my style is bohemian, so I don't really have them in perfect round shapes for the wire. I just put it on there like free-handed. So it's up to you and what style you want. And there we go. All right. Now I'm going to do some more of them, and we're going to attach them to the 4-leaf clover. I also did some white ones. All right. So these are all done. Now we're going to grab, let's see, we're going to get the chain nose pliers and okay, there we go. We're going to put it on. Okay, it's going to go on the jump ring. I put about maybe 3 of them on there. Oops, sorry, I'm out of the camera. All right, and then we're going to place also the ear wire on the jump ring as well. And there you go. Let's do the others, and we are done. I have 3 different styles to offer you at bellybeads.com. Enjoy.